And welcome back to the channel. Very different video to what I'm used to doing this. So on this video, I fix this Reebok ZR9 running machine. I take it from an intermittent bleep where it's not working at all, not doing anything it should, to a fully working machine for less than £1. Hopefully it's going to help someone out there. My usual subscribers, please don't be unsubscribing. I will be working on the cars in the next video. Right, so this is my first of this style of video where I'm going to be trying to repair a circuit board. Apologies for some of the noise. I've got a tortoise walking around in my my little electronics section that not a lot of people have seen. But this circuit board's off a running machine, and the running machine's beeping, and I'll slot a little bit into the video now. And this is the motor control board as far as I'm aware. Now I have ordered some parts after doing a bit of research, and if you look on the circuit here just in front of there was a diode in that position, which is here. I've ordered a new one which looks slightly different, which is there. Now what I did is I used the multimeter in continuity with the beep and found this to be a faulty diode. It basically had continuity right through, and I've got quite a cheap component tester there. So what I did is I desoldered that component, that diode, and there's one exactly the same here which I desoldered as well, and I tested both of them. This one tested as a diode, as it should, and this one here tested as an inductor, and the other direction it was a capacitor. So my assumption is that's faulty. Not 100% certain, but my assumption is that that's faulty. So for £3.99 I ordered a pack of 5, if you can see it, of these. I can't quite read it. Alright, so if you look on my iPad there, SS310, that's the same component number as the matching one that was on it. If I can focus that in for you. SS310. Now, I'm no micro solderer or anything, and I've only been doing a little bit of research. I do mainly like Game Gears and Game Boys, but that's a sign for a diode. So obviously I knew I was testing for a diode, and this little tester told me that the one there is a diode and the faulty one there isn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder this into... So what I'm going to do is, if you can see on the screen there, I'm going to solder the new diode on there. Alright, so to make this a little bit easier, what I'm actually going to do is going to take that one off and put that one over there, and then put that bigger one here where I've got more space. So I'll crack on with it now. I will have shown you what I could, but unfortunately my iPad's got no storage, so it wouldn't do the last bit I needed to. But I had a little bit of trouble, so I've put the one from there up there. That went in dead easy. I had to just solder a little bit of wire over to this one just to extend that over, and what I'll do, I'm going to go and test it now, and if it works okay, I'll put some solder mask around this one just to secure it all up. So I'll stick it in its case for now, and we'll go and plug it in. So this is where the board goes, and I'll just show you the orientation of the wires just in case you've taken yours off and you don't realise. And then down at the bottom there's the motor. So it's turned on at the switch. I've got it plugged in. Just need to turn this on now and we'll see what the power does. So that seems to be working. See if it'll start. So the board that you're looking for, and I'm going to slide this in at the beginning because I've already taken it off and I've actually done the repair. But the way to remove it is you just need to flick out all these wires and take off the hot melt glue that you're going to have around here. In my case, I didn't, and I ended up, oh, they're coming out actually. So you get rid of the hot melt glue. See that one there? It's come right off the pins, but just remember that the clip faces outwards. See if this one comes off. Again, it's done the same thing. So again, the clip faced outwards. We've got 2 wires down at the bottom, which is these 2. There's 2 screws down at the bottom to secure it, and then we need to take these wires off here. Now when you take this off, just be a little bit careful, because that is a big capacitor and that will be storing a fair bit of energy. Right, in my case, I've taken the board out of here, but the repair is to that diode there, which you'll see in a second. I took this out, and it means I'm going to have to put some more heat paste in these positions here and bolt them back on, because they get bolted through. Now, I'm glad I took mine off, and I'll show you why. When I was first investigating the fault, I was essentially looking all over the back of the board, and where I've remade this trace here, that was all blown. It's unlikely that that was done by factory, but I thought that might have been the fault at first, not the diode. But yeah, that's what I thought the fault was, and that had blown there, and it had a little bit of damage there, so I've redone that bit. I'm gonna put a little bit of solder mask on that. And where we did the repair, the top one doesn't need it because it's the right size diode physically. This is the right number, but the wrong physical size. So just to make sure that nothing comes loose, we're just going to put a bit of solder mask on there, which I've got just here. And that's too much already, but get a cotton bud and we'll sort that out. Need a little bit more just around there, just another little dot just to hold it in place. And partly because the body comes really close to here as well, so I want that all protected. This is then cured with a UV light. Now what I've been using is my wife's nail thing. So I'll do it with this. I'll hold that by the capacitor, pop that in, but I'll also put my UV torch on to the spot as well. And I'll leave that just for a few minutes like that, and hopefully that'll cure. I've still got 4 of these diodes, so less than £1 to do this repair. So while this is curing, I've just cleaned the back of all of these and the plate that they bolt onto, because from what I understand, the thermal paste, which is this, I got this off AliExpress I think, or maybe eBay, really cheap. Thermal plate paste needs to be quite clean and replaced so that it gets a direct connection. It also has this as like a distribution bar that goes on the other side. Toto is still walking around. So I'll show you all that in a second. Sorry I couldn't show the soldering. That didn't work out, but obviously you can see it's been done as well as I was able to in that position. Oh, it had this as well between the paste, so I'll give that a clean. I'll put that back on and we'll put the paste back on again as well. I'll just keep this on. Got the thermal paste as good as I could on the back of this. We'll now put it into position on this. A bit tricky doing this one-handed. Thermal paste on the back of them all. I've got the plate bolted on now and the nut and bolt onto the other one. I'll reiterate, you don't need to take it out for this repair, and from what I've been reading up since I've actually done this, that is a really common fault. Now the fault's on the one behind there, which is, I'll point out again, is there, so that's the faulty one. But the replacement that I got wouldn't fit in that gap. I'd have had to run wires to it, so what I've done is I've swapped them over and put the new one there, where I had loads of space, and then solder masked where I've extended it. I've had to put it at a bit of an angle to fit. Solder mask will lock it in place. So that's now finished. That saved me, cheapest one I could find was £74. So that saved me basically £70. And if I've got to do it again, I've got spares. And we'll go and fit it in the machine now, hopefully for the last time. Alright, so here's mine all fixed in position. I only had 2 screws at the top on mine. Make sure that you've got all of your wires routed in the correct places so that nothing can tug on them. And obviously everything's out the way of the rollers. So before I put the cover on, I'm going to give it a test again, and we'll give it a clean. Obviously you don't need to see that, you just want to see if this works, and that's us. So reset that. We're on. Start. And we've gone from an intermittent bleeping to a fully working machine. And there we go.